as someone, who maybe can get us a view of what the president's thinking, crowing about these markets, not crowing too much, but clearly trying to say this is a sign that America is coming back. The underlying economy is good. The markets are pouncing on that. You should be happy about that. You think that's working?
Well, it's always easier to blame than to boast. And we see Donald Trump doing that extremely well, pointing out the problems, talking about all the things that could be bad in our economy and not focusing on anything good. When you boast about what you've done, people tend not to believe that. That's why negative advertising, those campaigns are so popular. So I think Biden's going to be very careful here. We've learned the lesson with touting Bidenomics. I think he's got to say, hey, look, this is something that transcends. It's one of the economic indicators that people really tie to and can relate to with the Dow. We know it only tells so much. The real problems are the divide that's growing in our country, that the economy might be growing, but people are being left behind. And you see that with certain demographics. It shows in polling. And I think that's why he's got to really talk about his empathy for communities across this country and how he's going to help them more than Donald Trump will. I think it's like having your cake and eating it, too. It's saying, hey, we're going to pick and choose what economic indicators we want to take credit for, which ones we don't. So it's either you take it all or you take nothing. And the fact that you're going to try to boast that it's because of what might happen come January of next year, I think that's outrageous. When you can point to the fact that President Biden has had these successes, whether it's the bipartisan infrastructure bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS Act, helping put more money in Americans' pockets by capping the cost of prescription drugs. The list goes on and on. But again, I think you have to be very careful in the political sphere when we try to give too much credit to ourselves. And I think Biden has a lot to talk about in terms of his accomplishments, but he's got to be careful because it's very quick and easy to just point out a few problems to attack. And it's always easier to believe those negatives than those positives. And that's why Biden has to be out there listening to people and really understanding that there's this growing divide and many people are being left behind. And he's going to be the president to make sure that they get that boost into the future economy that we're seeing here in the United States and around the world.
Yeah, it's a